try that again.
Yeah, big up. Greetings, Aki woman, everybody, all massive. One love.
There you go. And she is in the building in full effect. Aki woman is saying it's possible that we could be related. Hey, you never know.
She sees it, right? Okay.
Yeah. So, I have in the studio with me, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to introduce to some and present to others the incomparable, unsung artiste, international recording artiste, K Vibes, aka the Brick Rose.
Greetings. Yes.
And on Unsung, as you know, we feature artists who are very underrated. They might have been in the business for a long time. They might have just come but have put their time in and have paid their dues, so to speak. But you're not hearing their music on mainstream radio. Or it's the sound of some artists who might have been one-hit wonders. They, came with this big hit and for whatever reason they pulled out of the business. Or just artists who you need to listen out for and look out for in those major stage shows in the future, because they are some phenomenal people. Now, this evening, I have with me in the studio someone who fits into several of those categories. Been in the business for a while.
Yeah.
Can do what I call can blow. Okay. Comes over a little bit shy, but when the mouth opens up, it's a whole nother story. An artist who has paid her dues and deserves to be on mainstream radio. So for stations like E2 On Air, that's what we're here for. We're here to propel our artists to higher heights, because if mainstream radio won't come to them, won't play them, then they'll have to come to them after we start blowing it up out there. So right about now, I'm gonna ask you, Kay, just tell us how it all began.
Okay, my music career, well, music and poetry go hand in hand. I had written a poem, and I have an older brother who was, he's a sound man from back in the 70s and a producer by the name of Sir Tommy's. And so I went to him with some material.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of rough me up and bad me up still, but that's how it got done, because as you said, I was very shy, and that's where I started it off. And then after that, I was introduced to Sir Coxon Dodd of Studio One.
Mm-hmm.
And then I branched out and met other couple of people like Digital English and so on. But I got my start in the music industry through Sir Tommy's and then to Studio One.
Okay. I've been listening to your music, and I was more so familiar with the ghetto
cry.
Ghetto cry.
Okay.
And but then I started listening to the others.
Okay.
And I hear a lot of the old school sound. Yeah. And I'm gonna give you a chance to hear what I was hearing. But I hear a lot of the old school sound coming out, and I hear you mention Sir Coxon.
Yeah.
And Sir Tommy's.
All right.
That's a whole nother story right there.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I admire is that you managed to retain the sound, the integrity of the old school sound.
Right.
And
thanks.
Even though you've maintained that sound, you managed to morph it into a modern,
a little bit of jazz, a little bit of
so that's what that is. So tell us, is this because of the producers you've worked with, or just your styles? What is it?
So being around in that environment, I met a lot of vintage artists who I admired. The Johnny Osbornes and Michael Palmer, Meditation Rankin, Joe Brigadier, all those people I met. And then I was given mature music. I started off with mature music. I mean, I'm not, they're an older generation than I am, but I was given that music, and I always loved it. It was always in me. I really actually started off listening to hip hop and stuff like that. I really didn't get into reggae music until someone had given me a tape. An artist by the name of Donna V had given me a tape with Dennis Brown on one side and Alton Ellis on the other.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's where my love of reggae music kind of, and then Sanchez, of course. So yeah, but meeting all those old school artists and loving their styles, Shinehead, Lieutenant Stitchy, 'cause I thought I was a DJ at one time.
Okay.
So, you know, it's still in me. That's how that happened, you know.
Okay.
And so I just mix it up with the little jazz and the little gospel in me, and everything is just in there.
And you know we're gonna have you do a little bit of a cappella later on.
Sure.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm just gonna jump into it. Recently we saw where Lady Saw decided that she was gonna either hang up the towel or move into another genre, and her reason for doing this was because of the fight that she was getting within the industry, and more so from the females in the industry.
Wow.
Now, I have been moving in this music industry in the New York area for quite some time now, and I have noticed a trend in that there's some truth to what she's been saying.
Right.
And I see where there is this need for unity among the ladies,
Female artists, yeah.
so with that said, how do you I'm trying to put this delicately,
Right.
how do you find the vibe or the working environment of working among your peers, and let's keep it to the New York area.
Okay. You mean male or female or both, or?
Well, both.
Okay.
And I know it's going to be a fight with the males anyways, because they're more predominant, but
Right.
let's take it to the females then.
Well, from my personal experience, yeah, there's a little fight personally, but not so much. I mean, nothing that keeps me down or keeps me from doing what I got to do. I always find a way. If you can't go through it, go around it, go over it, whatever, by any means necessary. Thus, the brick rose, right? Which simply means strong woman. And I'm not the only brick rose. There's many brick rose. You're a brick rose. You understand?
Okay.
So, my experience has been, it's been a good one, because it's only because of the encouragement that I've gotten from many of my male counterparts why I'm here today.
Okay.
Some of them have dropped off for whatever reason, and the true ones are still with me, and much appreciated. And the good and the bad have made me who I am today as an artist. So I appreciate everything. I appreciate it all.
Okay. That's from the local perspective.
Right.
No, I've seen where there's a lot of fighting. Not so much that the females want to fight, but because of this thing where you have the males have to have this beef.
Okay.
To do these clashes, and I saw it even on Sting the other day, where what's her face, these two
Female artists.
who
The female artists.
yeah, the female artists, they're not even on my radar, so
All right.
I can't remember their names.
Well,
right
Sting kind of brings that energy.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm saying that to say we see that, but then it's like they want to bring it over to just every day going on, because they're figuring that that's the way they can get seen. That's the way they can get heard.
Right.
So how you're not the confrontational. She's just so cool. It just don't make no sense. So how do you separate yourself and still get heard?
Wow, that's a good question. Separating myself, I try my best to be original, try to be a leader, try to think of new ideas. I will go over to the crowd to support when I have to, but I like to be a leader in many things, and you can be a leader and still support people. That's what a lot of people don't understand. So you can be a leader and you can still be supportive of other people. You know, what goes around come around. You know, you have to have to support. The negative energy, it's always going to be there, and you have to use it to your advantage.
You said something really important right there. You said you support others.
I do.
And that's one of the main, one of the downfalls in this industry, both in the male dominated portion as well as the females.
Right.
We don't support each other because we have this mentality that, you know what, if I help you, you're gonna reach further than I will reach, and I can't have that.
And I support people in ways sometimes that they don't know that I support them. I mean, for some reason, my opinion is valued to many people. I appreciate that. So people ask me things, they ask me about other artists and so forth, and I support them without them knowing that I support them, but they don't know it, and sometimes they come off to me in a certain way, and I say, well, you know, they don't know, but I'll leave it that way. But I mean,
you
what
see,
can you do?
it's about the heart, because while you're there supporting them, they don't know that you're supporting them, and they're showing you the space.
Yep.
And you could say, you know what, I'm not even going to bother to deal with you, because, you know, here I am giving you my all,
Right.
and you're snubbing me. So the thing about it is, it's the heart. Not only is she an artist who can blow, she's an artist with a heart. And I'm going to try now to see if my music will play for me. And
Oh, K Vibes and Lloydie Stiff, yeah.
yeah, we're going to take this one back from the top. I want to make sure that nothing else is interrupting my music. And then we're good to go.
Big up Lloydie Stiff,
Lloydie Stiff.
who wrote this song.
Okay. This song is called Get a Cry. And you said Lloydie wrote the song.
He wrote that song, yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Promises to them get elected.
Now them in the office a treat we like garbage.
Them all of us remark, say we are fugitives.
I know how we walk, which part them live.
Get a mommy cry, get a daddy try.
Come again, come again, come again, come again. Every morning me get up, good chat a bus up. Woman skill feel and fitness skull bus up. Man a get set up, stick up and butt up. People get fed up cause the system corrupt. I'm just a master of blood that run like syrup. Blood stain plastic make curdle up like a ketchup. Who no get shot up, them a get chop up. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Rah!
Get a mommy cry, get a daddy try.
While the politicians put whip and stand by.
They make promises to them get elected.
Now them in the office that treat we like garbage.
Them all of us remark, say we are fugitives.
I know how we walk, which part them live.
Get a mommy cry, get a daddy try.
Come again, yo, you remember Key and Salfish? Long time ago it was we national dish. Still we national, but national for the rich. Cause the sufferers them can't afford it. You see, when we used to go to market, we can't buy a lot, we only have a big clip. But money now run because we afraid we done it. But food have we buy if we body be healthy and we can know.
Get a mommy cry, get a daddy try.
While the politicians put whip and stand by.
They make promises to them get elected.
Now them in the office a treat we like garbage.
Them all of us remark, so we are fugitives.
I know how we walk, which part them live.
Get a mommy cry, get a daddy try.
Rah! Yo, every morning we get up, gunshot a bus up. Woman skin feel and fitness skull bus up. Man a get shot up, stick up and butt up. People get fed up and the system corrupt. Half of them are syrup, blood that run like syrup. Blood stain pan the main curdle up like a ketchup. Who no get shot up, them a get chopped up. What up, 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 what up? Rah!
Get a mommy cry, get a daddy try.
While the politicians put whip and stand by.
They make promises to them get elected.
Now them in the office a treat we like garbage.
Them all of us remark, so we are fugitives.
I know how we part, which part them live.
Get a mommy cry, get a daddy try.
You remember Key and Salfish? Long time ago it was we national dish. Still we national, but national for the rich. Cause the sufferers them can't afford it. You see, when we used to go to market, we can't buy a lot, we only have to pick. No money now run because we afraid we done it. But food that we buy for we body be healthy and fit and know.
Get your mommy cry, get your daddy try.
While the politicians put we on standby.
They make promises till them get elected.
Now them in a office and treat me like garbage.
Them all of us remarks, say we a fugitive.
Man, I want we walk which part them live.
Get your mommy cry, get your daddy try.
Follow me. Yo, you should people in the get up. I'm for depending on the max, you know. Lie this if I say this, you know, because yo, sometimes I feel some things when I want to.
Enough. Big up to the man Lloyd Stiff. And that was K Vibes and Lloyd Stiff doing Get a Cry. And you just touching the tip of the iceberg of who K Vibe is, who the Brick Rose is. And like Wayne says, my drummer says, the way how K Vibe's cool, I wonder if she even drinks water.
Let me get a little cooler.
Oh my gosh. I was going through your bio and things, and I saw this terminology. The song stylist.
Okay.
Explain that to us.
Wow, song stylist. Actually, someone else wrote that. I guess it's, what is a song stylist? I guess it's the way that mixing different styles of music together, not only lyrically but vocally. I believe that's what it means.
Okay, because that leads right into my next question, because they have this new thing now where it's like new age, newfangled, just a Christopher Columbus moment, where they're talking about fusion music.
Okay.
And as far as I'm concerned, reggae has been fused with other genres from the beginning of time.
True.
So, given them their thing, that it's this new thing now. It's you have been doing your music with the infusion of jazz.
Yeah.
The infusion of what other genres?
Jazz, blues, gospel, little soul.
Okay.
Whatever comes to me, whatever that rhythm is saying to me at the time, you know.
Do you write all your music?
99%, yeah.
Okay. And I'm asking these questions because I want to, I know the answers because I've been doing my homework, but I want you, the audience, to see and to know that K Vibes is no ordinary artist. K Vibes is not the run-of-the-mill artist. It's not, actually, I have this thing where you have an artist and you have an artiste. No, not everybody's an artiste for me. You have to earn that title.
True.
But an artiste to me is someone who is rounded lyrically, vocally, and you have a stage presence. You have that connection with your audience. You can, I don't have to see you on stage. I can hear your music, and I feel as though I'm there. And those are some of the characteristics of an artiste for me. And so I am presenting to some and introducing to others an unsung artiste in the form of K Vibes. And we're coming up to 10 minutes to the hour of 6. You're in tune to the program Unsung. I want to thank all those who have logged in to the chat room through Ustream, all those who have logged in who are listening to us through Twitter and through Facebook, those who are logged in through e2onair.com, those on their iPhones and their Blackberries. I know I have some people out there in Jamaica listening right about now. Sharon and the neighbors, who I will get the call from after this to say, we love the show. So Jamaica is listening to K Vibes. Europe is listening to K Vibes. North America is listening to K Vibes.
Right.
The world is listening to K Vibes.
Big up, big up.
So now, I want to play another one of K Vibes' tracks because like I said, I was just accustomed to Ghetto Cry, but I like everything else now.
Okay.
So no, I can't tell you which one's my favorite because this one, Frenemies,
Frenemies.
I love that one too. Tell me a little bit about Frenemies.
Frenemies is one of my songs released by Studio One. It was released back in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
I think I joined Studio One in 1995, something like that, 1998. Because my first release was 98. This came out in 2001, and it's recently been reissued on vinyl due to demand, and it's also on a CD, a double CD they just put out called Young Jamaica 50 Hits.
Okay.
At Studio One. So very proud of that.
And I recognize that you're a Studio One baby.
Yeah.
And I still hear the influence, the Studio One influence in all your music.
Right.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that after this. Listen to this one, Keene people.
People bitter, just like a aloes true. Them bad mind, them have a sit in our shadow. Them not flex right, say them a crooked arrow. Smile with you today and turn them back on you tomorrow. People bitter, true, your bread and butter. Will mash up your life and them want see you suffer. We driving a Benz and you are driving over. Mash up your life and them won't come take over. We call them frenemies. Where we call them frenemies. So we call them frenemies. Where we call them frenemies. Now. They live in glass house and they fling in stone. Refuse to leave people business alone. Can't go forward cause they looking back. Always wanting what you got. They grudge you for your house and they grudge you for your land. Grudge you for your life, true you have your own man. Grudge you for your car and they grudge you for your job. Yes, they even grudge you when they see you loving God. Frenemies, where we call them frenemies. So we call them frenemies. Where we call them frenemies. Now. Remember the days of lime and water. Cup of sugar for your neighbor wasn't nothing to offer. You helped my son and I help your daughter. Said those were the days of fun and laughter. Span I, cherry be bounce gang fall down on me face, but me must rise again. For God is not my enemy, yes He is my friend. Again, where we call them frenemies.
Okay, people. I have to take this one back from the top. I noticed that some people got kicked out of the Ustream chat room a moment ago. So I'm going to use this as an excuse to take this back from the top. But you know, some songs you can't just play them one time.
Yeah, go pull up.
Yeah, man, I go pull all the way up. Aki Woman, I know you're loving this.
Some people bitter, just like a aloes true. Them bad mind, them have a sit in our shadow. Them not flex right, say them a crooked arrow. Smile with you today and turn them back on you tomorrow. People bitter, true, your bread and butter. Will mash up your life and them want.
Listen to the lyrics, people.
You're driving a Benz and you are driving over. Mash up your life and them won't come take over. We call them frenemies. Where we call them frenemies.
What happens in our chat room stays in our chat room, you know?
Where we call them frenemies. Now. They live in glass house and they fling in stone. Refuse to leave people business alone. Can't go forward cause they looking back. Always wanting what you got. They grudge you for your house and they grudge you for your land. Grudge you for your life, true you have your own man. Grudge you for your car and they grudge you for your job. Yes, they even grudge you when they see you loving God. Frenemies, where we call them frenemies.
Big up Mr. Fletcher.
Mr. Fletcher is having some flashbacks and some things. But you know what? I love this tune so much. I'm going to play it on the low while we keep our conversation going. The sound of K-Vibes. And the Brick Rose is with me in the studio today. She's my guest on the program UnSung. We're coming up to 4 minutes to the hour of 6. And we're going to keep it rolling. I mentioned earlier the Studio One influence,
Right.
and what I'm finding these days is that they're talking about people stealing our music, and that reggae music is dead. And when I hear sounds like this, I was playing, before you came in, I was playing the sounds of Busy Signal, Romy and Virgo, Dwayne Stevens, Ed Robinson, and guys like that. And I'm encouraged that the music is not dying.
No, it's not. It's definitely not.
And what I found is that the people in Europe,
Right.
they're playing the music, they're enhancing the music, but the music that they're
definitely.
enhancing is the old school, the kind of music that where you're coming from, that Studio One.
People know more about me in Europe than they know about me here. The people I went to Europe and I was sitting on a stool enjoying some fresh air, and somebody came over to me and they called me by my government name.
Wow.
Okay, so people in Europe, they appreciate it. They research the music. They know who you are once they love you and love what you do, and it's just it's an awesome feeling to know that people on the other side of the world are actually paying you attention and playing your songs and collecting them and holding on to them. So that's another thing I'm glad for, that my songs have longevity. I may not be out on like the latest rhythm will just come out on the road, and yeah, I do vintage stuff. I will sing on anything that is good, but the few songs that I may not have like tens and tens of songs out there, but the few songs that I have, they have longevity, and I have 2 songs that have been just reissued. This is one, Ragamuffin Soldier on the Digital English is another one, and they just get good response, so I'm proud of that. So I just continue the quality. The old school works for me, but I'm willing to mix it up as long as it's. But the new stuff, a lot of it is just revamped old stuff.
Old stuff, right?
Yeah, it really is. So sometimes I have the opportunity to sing on the original rhythm. Like I did a song called Time, which I'm very proud of. Time is on the cheetah rhythm, which Dennis Brown sang on. And when I went into, a matter of fact, I recorded Time right here with Ed Robinson, was the engineer for Clive Chin of Randy's. That's the cheetah rhythm, and Dennis Brown I could even hear him way in the back, and because he's the only artist I never got to meet, and he's like my favorite. So I'm the only other singer on the rhythm. It's only me and Dennis Brown are only 2 singers on that rhythm, and one DJ, which is Rankin Joe.
Okay.
So I'm very proud of that. I mean, that's a classic rhythm.
I'm gonna, since you mentioned Time, I'm gonna touch Time for the people. We're gonna touch it.
What is longer than rope, it never shall cease. Consumes a day through war and peace. What takes a baby from the breast to the spoon? What is the balm to heal all wounds? What is the master that turning a wheel waits for no man, hears no appeal? What does it take to write a symphony and lay in the shade of an old oak tree? What turns winter into spring, spring into summer and fall again? What turns like into I love you? Whoa, I'm gonna tell you, it's time. Yeah, nothing but time.
is nothing but time. You know, I'm going to have to pull this one up. I'm going to have to talk about this one a little bit, because people, do you hear the sound? Do you hear the clarity? Do you hear the okay.
that music like that just reaches into my soul when you hear the live music, and then knowing where the music came from, and imagine when Dennis Brown was probably in the singing in the studio singing his tune. By the look on your face, girl, you're my enemy. Wicked rhythm. I mean, thank you, Clive Chin. You know, enough great music, and that's coming out of Impact, the Impact label, Randy's. So that's another label that I also work with. So Studio One and Clive Chin and everybody. Enough love.
I liken you to. I have this thing where I liken new, quote unquote, new artists.
Right.
In terms of being of the younger generation.
Right.
I liken them to an artist, one of the veterans. I liken you to Sister Carol.
Okay.
Not that you necessarily sound like a Sister Carol, but your carriage.
Okay.
Your vocal delivery.
Thank you.
Your stylings, the class. You carry yourself, you have certain standards, and you don't lower those standards. You compromise, but it's got to mean something or to make a difference.
Definitely. Yeah.
And so I'm in tune, you're in tune rather, to the sounds of Miss K Vibes. Now I need for you to listen to this song. Listen to the music, listen to the vocals, separate the sounds.
Arrangements. Yeah.
And listen to the quality of the sound coming out of a K Vibe.
What is longer than rope? It never shall cease. Consumes a day through war and peace. What takes a baby from the breast to the spoon? What is the balm to heal all wounds? What is the master that turning the wheel? Waits for no man, hears no appeal. What does it take to write a symphony and lay in the shade of an old tree? What turns winter into spring, spring into summer and fall again? What turns like into I love you? Whoa, I'm gonna tell you, it's time. Yeah, nothing but time. Nothing but time. Time is moving swifter, yeah, creeping up on the skylarker. Those centuries have passed, we still hope a moment in time will last. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, time, oh, nothing but time, nothing but time. What is longer than rope? It never shall cease. Consumes a day through war and peace. What takes a baby from the breast to the spoon? What is the balm to heal all wounds? What is the master that turning the wheel? Waits for no man, hears no appeal. What does it take to write a symphony and lay in the shade of an old tree? What turns winter into spring, spring into summer and fall again? What turns like into I love you? Oh, let me tell you, it's time. Whoa, yeah, nothing but time. Nothing but nothing but time. 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 Nothing but time.
Nothing but time. The sound of K-Vibes on your box at 7 minutes past the hour 6. And we're vibing in the studio. I want to welcome all those who are tuned in through Twitter, Facebook, Ustream, e2onair.com, your iPhones and your Blackberries. I want to send a shout out to Sharon and the massive out there in Jamaica. Lupa, enough respect, my brother. Big up, big up, big up. Silencer V, welcome to E2 on Air. And we're here vibing with the Brick Rose herself, the incomparable K-Vibes. And you just listened to a track called Time. And one thing that I have noticed, I met you about 3 or 4 years ago.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I heard your sound. I liked the sound.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you performing, and I tried to get the music.
Mm-hmm.
And I live out of town, and
Okay.
I went to you know, the local distributors, the ones that came into play with the advent of the record stores going out of business.
Okay.
And I asked them for your music.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, if a certain distributor didn't endorse that artist, then they wouldn't have your music.
Okay. Okay.
And I asked for some other artists. I asked for like some Keisha Martins and Kainas, and they were looking at me like, who are you talking about?
Wow.
So now, where can the people get your music?
Okay, my music, you can go to kvibes.com, and there for you I've made available the links to, like, half of my music is pretty much vinyl, and Europe, you know, Europe still is strong with the vinyl music, so mostly Studio One, you know, that's on vinyl. I've Bye Bye Rebel is on CD, Frenemies just came out on CD, but the links are on kvibes.com. You can find the links there. Ghetto Cry, Time, everything you pretty much need to know. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Go to kvibes.com, leave me messages, my blogs, whatever. You can see what's going on with me from there.
Okay. And I noticed after that, after asking about your music, then I saw you on some shows here in New York.
Right.
But then, like I said, I wasn't hearing you on mainstream radio. But then the next thing I knew, K-Vibe was gone on tour. She was missing.
Well, you know something? There are a lot of people like me that are touring, doing shows elsewhere, and people know about them. They may not know about you here. And they live next door to you, and they're going on tour, and they're doing stuff, child. Yeah. I remember there was an artist named Dollar Man. There are a lot of people still don't know about Dollar Man, but you can bet Europe know about Dollar Man. And we used to jam with Dollar Man down at Footprints and stuff like that. So just gotta keep doing what we're doing. I don't know what's going on with New York, you know, but I also like to say that you have a wealth of artists here in New York, and we're not New York artists. I'm between New York and Jamaica, right? My mom is here, and I'm between New York and Jamaica. But we are artists that live in New York. We're not New York artists. And you've got a lot of artists that we're going out there and we're doing our stuff. I want to take this time also to big up Downbeat the Ruler.
Okay.
Yeah. Downbeat the Ruler is responsible for a lot of people getting to know about K-Vibes because he believed in me, and he made sure that, you know, he present to me to this day. Probably right now he's talking about K-Vibes as we speak. So he's an advocate for K-Vibes, and not just because, you know, because he really believes in me and he likes my music. I mean, Downbeat has a reputation, so I really appreciate it, because I don't think, you know, it's not something that he's doing just to say. He has to know that you're good. He's worked with Shined, Shabba Ranks, Bitty McLean, and all those great people. So
nice.
I have a responsibility to live up to. right? So I appreciate that, and all the European Massive and the French Massive and Belgium and all those people that showed me love this past summer. It was a great experience. Looking forward to going back this summer here, and my album will be out in the spring. So before I do any traveling, my album should be ready.
So the Brick Rose will be back in the studios because we're going to be plugging that album before she goes on this tour,
Right.
and we'll be playing your music. The thing about it is, they have this silly notion, and y'all might knock me for this, but hey, this is how I feel, and people who know me know that I'm gonna say what I feel.
Right.
They have the silly notion that you have to bust a Jamaica in order to, be recognized, and if you're not doing well on the New York scene, then
All right.
nothing will go on for you. But I am
Silly,
here
isn't
to there you go. I'm here to tell you that it's not so, because like you said, in Europe, that's where it's happening.
Yep.
It's not about the United States at all. And yes, we need to get the foundation, that foundational sound, that little sound out of Jamaica. But because people have enhanced the music
Well, you know
so
what?
much, it's not even necessary.
Just
at
in
times.
case, you need to. I got something coming out of Jamaica in February. I just did a track with Computer Paul called "Can You Love Someone."
Computer
So
Paul.
just in case we need to come out of Jamaica, I'm in Jamaica. I'm in Europe. I want to be everywhere. I'm not, contained to any certain area. Anywhere you want K vibes, I will be there. Okay. So Jamaica, I got you down to.
Yeah, not knocking Jamaica,
Yeah.
because that's the foundation, and
Yeah, definitely.
but they have so perverted the sound right now
Yep.
that elsewhere it's where it's happening, and then they wonder why bands like Inner Circle and all those veteran groups are constantly touring Europe.
Jamaica, the way I see it, Jamaica is the place to bust for a dancehall artist. I don't know if I'm correct. That's just the way I kind of see it. On the dancehall scene, most of the dancehall and culture is like, it's more appreciated coming out of places like Europe and those things. But Jamaica, I guess, as a dancehall artist, that's probably your best chance. Though that's just the way it is.
Yeah, but then the thing about it is this: what's your target audience?
True.
Who are you catering to? It's like there are artists who I notice that will do an album for the Jamaican scene or the North American scene, and then they have to go make another one for Europe.
Yeah.
No, that to me
True.
does not make any sense, because that's a waste of money.
A waste of money, and you
Yeah.
can't play it on stations.
There
and
you go.
that's
You need
true.
to just do one thing, do it properly, and like you were talking about in the beginning, it's about longevity. Bob Marley, I keep going back to that. Bob Marley has been gone for over 30 years,
Right.
but his music lives on.
Gotta
When
be flexible.
when we can get to the point where our music is sound, our writing skills, that's a whole nother story. Whole nother story. Or our delivery of the music. A lot of people write, and they figure that I've got to sing all of my songs.
True.
Yet all of my songs that I've written don't fit me.
True.
And they don't see it that, what, let me get Kay this song. That fits her sound, and she will tear this up. No, I gotta keep it for myself, because
Right.
no, you're gonna get big off
Well,
of my song.
That's true. But I will say too, when as a writer, when I write my songs, my songs kind of coming like my children. I remember I gave a song. Somebody asked me to write a song for them one time, and I wrote it, and they did a good job with the song, but they didn't really sing it the way I wanted to sing. I was like, hey, no, that's not right. You're not right. Just let it go. But it's like you're releasing these children into the world, So from a writer point of view, I kind of know the feeling. even though I may not sing every song that I write, but if somebody's gonna sing a song that I write, I kind of want them to do justice to it.
No, well,
You know?
that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different because you can give the song to somebody and have an agreement that, you know what, I'm gonna do some arrangements on it. I'm gonna, help with the production of it because I want it to be sung just so.
Right.
But I'm talking about those who have no clue about any of this that you're talking about,
Right.
and are just selfish in the whole thing. But I'm gonna play for you a track, and this one is called "Reap." You want to tell us a little bit about it? Like I said before, no, I like all of it. I can't tell which one's my favorite no more. It's no longer about the favorites. I like how they all sound, and like I said, know that I've heard them on the big system.
All right. You're really hearing everything.
Hearing it.
Well, Reap is a track that was produced by Don Juan at Don Juan Studios in New York. It's the original track, I believe. It's a cut version of Truths and Rights or Take a Ride. You know, a lot of these rhythms have different names. So yeah, it's just a song for everybody: peace, love, unity, and getting along. But you do right because you reap what you sow.
When I heard the song initially, I heard the rhythm first, and I was familiar with that rhythm.
All right.
But then when I heard what you did with the rhythm, listen to this, people.
It's time to reorder our national priorities. To conquer racism, it is time to reorder our national priorities. We have the society scale.
How can we sing one song if we don't live in harmony? Fighting our brothers and our sisters while claiming the victory. Every man wants to reach the top by stepping on his brother man.
the sounds of K-Vibe, the Brick Rose, right here in the studios of E2 on Air, and the program is UnSung. I don't know why I'm sitting in this chair. I keep sliding all over this chair, but I got issues with that chair.
Okay.
So just bear with me. You just listen to the sound of K-Vibes, and the track was called Reap. Basically, you reap what you sow.
Yep.
And that's a little bit of what we've been talking about, you know, since we've been here. And we reggae is in a place right now that it needs to be snatched back.
Yeah.
I was looking at this article that came out today or yesterday, where Bunny Wailer and the rest of the Rastafarian movement was up in arms, getting ready to kick Snoop Dogg, Snoop Lion, Snoop whatever his name is. But we are the ones who cause situations like that.
Right.
We're the ones who allowed him to get so far up into the you know, the system in the first place. Because what I've always said, I look at this move that Snoop made as liken it much to the move that what's this guy who did the Grammy, the who got nominated for the Reggae Grammy about 2 years ago,
Marley?
The French guy,
Not sure.
Bob Sinclair.
Okay.
He is he does house music, but he's a perfectionist, and he's done everything, and he just wanted to challenge himself to see if he could do reggae. And he went to Jamaica, and he had this Jamaican guy, you know, maneuver through the system for him, and he worked with the likes of the Slides and the Robbies and the Shaggies and the Queen Ifrikas and such.
Right.
And it got to the point where he marketed his thing, and with his team with him, and it was nominated for a Grammy.
Wow.
Now, that was just a challenge to see what it was like to do reggae.
Right.
Now, Snoop has cornered the market on his rap, hip hop, whatever he does. And to me, it was just a bored Snoop.
I haven't heard it yet.
I eventually just listened to it 2 nights ago.
Right.
Because I was not impressed. I wasn't moved to go run out and listen to it or buy it or anything.
Everything is for a season here. Everything is just for a season and a time, you know. People, regardless of what's going on, people want good music. They want good stuff. Yeah, you got your dance hall crowd and stuff, yes, but there's a time and a place for everything, you know. And I still think in the end, good music that come from the soul is going to prevail. So we that are we that do that kind of stuff, we have to keep doing it. We can't let things like that discourage us and give up. We just have to keep continuing. Everything is a cycle, and everything is just for a time.
There you go.
That's the way I see it.
We need to get it together.
I just hope the cycle with the drop down pants. That
please.
one, I want that for hurry up and done. Me never see nothing last so long in my life.
my thing is the one with the pants and the one with the dance.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, we were talking this week about dance hall.
Right.
And a lot of people, they got this thing all mixed up.
Yeah.
It's totally mixed up. The fact that Barry's Hammond, Bob Marley, was a dance hall artist.
Right.
They're not getting that, because as far as they're concerned, dance hall is Cartels and the Busy and the Bounties and the Beanies. But when they can get to the point where they know from whence the music came, the origin of the music,
right,
then they will understand everything, and then they won't pervert what's coming out.
Yeah, true.
They won't put out this perverted stuff and say this garbage out of their mouths.
I mean, you also have to put the blame also on the people that are playing the music. You know, you got K Vibes here today, and you're doing your part, and you got other people like K Vibes and other artists, and you're spinning good music. But then you have some people that are doing other things, you know. So it's also the disc jockeys that have a responsibility in where they're going to take the music, right? And so we see where it is now because of the things that their part that they took in it. You understand? And to my understanding right now, it's kind of taking. It's trying to take this turn, and people are trying to make them more responsible for what they play on air. You know, I don't know how quick that's going to come about, but it really is in the hands of these people that get so much music. And even when you have a rhythm, you got a album, and with 10, 12 artists on it, and they only play the top 3 artists. They only play the Queen Eye Freak, and they only play the Barris Hammond. Yes, we know them, and we're good, and you should play them. But what about the K Vibes that's on there? What about the Keisha Martin that's on there? What about the Donna V that's on there? The JD Smooth? That's really good songs. I mean, I remember when Lava Ground that came out, and Donna V's got a track on there, a fabulous track called I Feel Like a Runaway, right? You can check his video on YouTube too. Fabulous song. I would go to the club, people would be playing the Lava Ground even now when they go back. That's a rhythm from, I don't know, 2000 or something like that. They'll play it, and I'm like, do you got the Donna V cut I want to hear? It's like, yeah, I got it, but I didn't bring it. They didn't even upload it in their system because they only play them top 3 artists. I've been to clubs where I've heard some selectors who dare to play it, and even like I got my cousin Many More. Many More is a fabulous artist. I'm his #1 fan, not because we're related. You listen to Many More. I went and I heard the selector playing Many More, and I was like, wow. You know, I don't go to a club all the time and hear people playing this because they only playing those top 3 songs off of each album. You know, it's a shame.
And it gets played out, and then that's why people, you go to the club, and then it gets to the point where you go to the club for a whole nother reason, because it's not about the music so much anymore, because you've heard that and it's regurgitated and
over and over again.
Gotten tired. So, you know, there's several people who need to take responsibility, and like I've always said, until there is some accountability, nothing's gonna change. In Jamaica, until the powers that be recognize reggae music as a valid or valuable natural resource, nothing's gonna change. When the elders demand the respect.
Yeah, you got show where the young artists them are close, and the big artists them are open up for them and all kind of stuff, you know.
They'll tell you no. They'll tell you no, because I have an issue with that, because for me, I'm big on protocols.
Right.
And as far as I'm concerned, there's a pecking order, and there's no way a headliner should be, you know, an amateur then should be coming on after a headliner. And what they're telling me now is that that's how things have changed now, because you have all these artists on a show, and the headliner is not going to, or the veteran artist is not going to sit around and wait until all these acts come on before they go on. So they're putting the headliners on, and then whatever happens afterwards. But then, to me, you're disrespecting the audience, because you're not giving. It's like you don't care about what happens afterwards.
Right.
And that it might be good for the headliner in one respect, but then you're falling a notch when you have an amateur coming on after you.
Right.
And it's all a mess, and we need to work this thing out.
It's all backwards.
And, you know, refocus and get this thing right. You are listening to the sound of K Vibes. We are here in the studios of E2 on Air, and the program is UnSung. It's now 6:30. Time certainly flies. And I'm going to ask UK a question that I ask everybody. if you weren't doing music, what would K-Vi be doing?
Okay, if I wasn't doing music, I'd be doing nursing, which I'm a nurse by trade.
Okay.
So I'd be doing nursing. I actually got into nursing. I actually got into singing. Sorry, I got into nursing because of singing. I went to the studio. I met someone by the name of, his name at the time was Lily Melody. Now his name is Isaiah Mentor. I don't know if he wants me to tell this story, but I gotta tell it. And I used to be hanging out at the studio by my brothers, and I would see all these artists, and I had to go to work in the morning. And I was like, I just loved it. I loved the idea that I could write a song and go to the studio tomorrow. And I was just green but ready. And I just said to this guy, I said, how do you guys do it? How do y'all hang out till 4 o'clock in the morning? I mean, how, and drive these cars and how do you do it? He's like, listen, I don't know about them, but I'm a nurse and I have a pager. We're going to sign up for school. I want to sign up for school because I believe I wasn't doing anything in the medical field at the time. I wasn't even thinking, didn't have any interest in medical. And that's how that started. I love nursing, but music is my first love. I love entertaining and singing. I love talking to the masses, but that's what I would be doing. Yeah.
So where can we see K-Vibes now? Do you have any shows planned, or you're gonna tour this summer? Your album's coming out shortly.
Right.
So what else is happening for K-Vibes now?
Okay.
What can we look for?
Okay, so currently, I just did a song for some people in France, a production called I Love Sound from France. Selector Cathy, big up. And they did an album. She did an album called Original Women Foundation with 11 other female artists, strong female artists like Queen Omega, Jody Moët, a lot of beautiful music on there. And I got on the project a little late, so I wasn't able to get onto the vinyl. So you have Queen Omega and Judy Moore on the vinyl, but there's a CD that's out called Original Women Foundation, and Pull Up is on there. And my video is on YouTube. You can see the video on YouTube for Pull Up. And Pull Up just gives you a brief history on the transition. I tell this story in about 3 minutes about the transition from analog music to digital. And how dancehall used to be, and we used to lift up record crate and all kind of thing. It's a memory thing, and I think you'll enjoy it. So that's what's going on. And then I have a show. We're going to be celebrating Philip Frazier's birthday. Okay. I believe that's March 3rd at Fisheye Bar and Grill in New York. And looking forward to doing some other things outside of New York.
Okay.
So, and then the 17th of February is Downbeat the Ruler. We got to big up our veterans. We got to remember men like Downbeat the Ruler and Black Scorpio side by side on February 17th. That's a Sunday, and Monday is a holiday. So come out on February 17th and celebrate the Earth Strong of Tony Screw, Downbeat the Ruler. Enough big respect to Tony Screw and Black Scorpio. It's going to be an awesome night. They're going to have special guests in the house. I'll come through, I'll sing a song, and it's going to be very nice.
Okay.
So that's what's going on currently.
Okay, that's going to be at the Clippers Lounge over there in Queens.
Yes, Clippers 2 in Queens.
Okay, Clippers 2. Okay.
Merrick Boulevard.
The veteran Downbeat the Ruler is going to be in the house. It's his Earth Strong.
Yes.
And
it's an annual thing, yeah.
Okay. And you have
Black Scorpio,
Hitmatic, Chris Capone, Ski Dog,
Side Dot Gideon, and Cool Vibes International.
Okay.
Yeah.
And other special guests will be passing through.
Yes.
And we'll this is in February.
February 17th.
Yeah. This with me, and
sure.
I'll keep it going. And I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I see where K is a big time promoter to people. K is doing her thing. K is the consummate businesswoman. And I see you with anybody in the business. My question to you is this: is there an artist out there who you'd like to work with?
Oh, definitely. I would like to right now. Matter of fact, this summer, well, not this summer, October. My dad passed away in October. He passed away. Thank you. I was scheduled to go to Jamaica, and he died one day before I got there. Anyway, I went out there, and I want to give much thanks to the Inn of the Yard Massive for supporting me during my time of bereavement. And I was there, and I'm telling you, this is a place where at Chinna Smith, Chinna Smith, one of our greatest guitar players in the world. He was there. I was at his home, and they really helped to rejuvenate me in every way, physically, emotionally, foodically, everything. Okay, came back. I'm trying to take off them few pounds or them feed me with, and I met people. I met the man Kiddos I from Rockers, and let me tell you, when I think back, I look back at some footage with like Kiddos I from and Chinna Smith from the Mighty Queen and Rockers the movie and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, this is how you spend an evening. This is like this is great stuff, and they're making live music on this veranda there, and you got people would come from different parts of the world, and I'm a kind of laid back person, and sometimes people would come through, they probably wouldn't even know that I was a singer because I was just absorbing everything. But when the time was right, I was presented with a track, and I did the track, so that should be coming up. It's called I can't even remember exactly. This is the Night. It's a track called This is the Night, produced by Chinna Smith.
Okay.
That'll be coming up on the album. So I would love to do some more work with Chinna Smith and the man Kiddos I. And my production, whenever I do these things, is called Brick Rose Entertainment. If you look on go on Facebook, you can keep up with some of the things that's going on. And Kiddos I also has something called Green for Life, the Green for Life program about feeding the impoverished and so many other things going on. So yeah, I really want to do some work with Kiddos I and some great people like that to continue the work,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned Sharon Pease is recognized in those ultimate jam sessions. Welcome to. Could you refresh that for me so we can pick up those people in the chat room?
This one?
Yes. One more time. Okay. We've got Sharon P in the chat room. Sharon P. By the way, you can hear her on Sundays right here on E2 on Air from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the Conduit. And you have to experience it for yourself. Okay. Silencer V, welcome. You have AccuWoman, who is another one of our E2 on Air hosts, and she is on Rockers Corner from Monday to Friday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Nice show, yeah.
And on Sundays, she comes in with the Gospel Truth from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We have a host of other presenters here on E2 on Air. We have Lawman Lynch on Sundays also from 3 to 6 with The Buzz. We have Judith Kitson on Friday nights from 10 to midnight for the party before the party. On Eclectic, we have Chip Smith early in the evening on Friday as well. You have Kevy Kev on Mondays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. On Tuesdays, he's on also from 3 to 6. Clinton Lindsay is on from 12 to 3 on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. DJ Bandit is on Mondays from 7 p.m. to midnight with a whole nother mix.
DJ Bandit.
We've got the Brixton Hitman on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. You have Sister Sensia on Tuesdays from 7 to 9, Fridays from 7 to 9, and Saturdays from 12 a.m. Well, from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. I'm sorry. And just check the E2 on Air page on Facebook, and you will see the updates as to who's on when. And of course, I'm here on Thursdays at our new time from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. with UnSung. I can't forget the Boss Man is on a Wednesday night from from 9 p.m. to midnight.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes, Mr. Robinson.
Okay.
That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show. But check out the E2 on Air page on Facebook, and like I said, you will see the updates. I'm here with the Brick Rose K Vibes, and the program is UnSung, and we're coming up to 15 minutes to the hour of 7, and we're gonna close out today with that track. You know, but before we get to that last track, is there anything that you want your audience to know? Anything, anybody you want to give your shout outs to? This is your time.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do right this minute. The floor is yours.
So I gave my big ups to Downbeat the Ruler, of course, and I big up Into the Yard in Jamaica. Hello, big up Into the Yard. You can catch them on Jukebox Fridays. I also want to just thank all the people that have been supporting me and spinning my music and my Facebook. I want to thank I Love Sound and all the people, all the French Massive, all the English people, everybody, all the producers, Clive Chin, Digital English, big up Studio One, Carol Dodd from Studio One, just everybody that been supporting me, all the people that just been encouraging me through the years. One of the first people that introduced me, encouraged me was a man named Sluggy Ranks.
Oh,
yeah,
Sluggy that passed.
Sluggy that passed away. Sluggy Ranks and Screechy Dan and Night Rider. I started on that sound called Vital 2000 in Brooklyn, right on President Street and Nostrand Avenue. So that's that's where I kind of got my start singing on the sound system. So big up all the Crownites Massive, East Flatbush, everybody, Jamaica, Portmore Massive, everybody. My family, many more. so many people to big up. Gregory Morrison, that's my cousin. He's an actor, singer. I got some people in the entertainment industry in my family too, doing some great things, playwrights and so forth. So, we love the arts, and so big up to the Morrison family.
Okay, good.
And my mother.
Can't forget Mom.
Yeah.
The support system, the backbone.
Man.
So you've been listening to K Vibes, and she's going to introduce this final track for us. She kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but we're going to go into some details with this. And Mr. Fletcher was alluding to the fact that this one gonna bust up the place, gonna tear up the place. So tell us a little bit about this one.
This track is actually I wrote this song many years ago. I wrote it for a friend, to some music a friend of mine gave me. He never got back to me on it. So, I end up singing it for somebody else. So this is how it happened. Even Frenemies too. Frenemies was like that. I was to sing it for somebody, and it got away from them.
Okay.
So that's what happens. You sleep. That's what happened. And so I wrote it many years ago, and now I end up singing it for a young lady named Kathy from France that I met through the MySpace. She reached out to me from MySpace a couple of years, and when I was going to Europe, I said, let me look through all my French Massive and blah, 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 and remind him that I'm coming out there. And that's how we reconnected. And I did the song. And the song is basically, it's just talking about the days back in the vinyl days, when things were a lot different, and how it was in the dance hall and how it is now. And it's not putting down the digital. It's not putting down the analog. It's just telling you simply what it is and what it is now. And that when you hear this one, you have to pull up. You understand? Pulling up is what we do. When you go to listen to country western, we don't pull up. When we listen to opera, we don't pull up. But it's, Jamaican people, we just love to pull up. Caribbean people, so it's a pull up.
Okay, so on that note, I'm going to ask you to change seats with me, because
I'm
going to do a pull up. Okay. We're going to do some pulling up here, people. So, on that note, I am going to cue this, and I'm going to take this one down, and we are going to hear the tune Pull Up.
digital or analog, we are fearless. Have sound have to pull up. When them hear this, you want them have to pull up. Man a shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up, sound have to pull up. When them hear this, you want them have to pull up. Man a shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up.
Like the sound says, when you hear a tune like them, yeah, you have to simply pull up. So, see that? Pull it up.
This one going out to the north, south, east and west. Digital or analog, we are fearless. Have sound have to pull up. When them hear this, you want them have to pull up. Man a shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up, sound have to pull up. When them hear this, you want them have to pull up. Man a shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up.
Pull it right back up again.
Yes, Aki woman.
This one going out to the north, south, east and west. Digital or analog, we are fearless. Have sound have to pull up. When them hear this, you want them have to pull up. Man a shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up, sound have to pull up. When them hear this, you want them have to pull up. Man a shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up. Back in the days we used to spin vinyl, now everything gone digital. 50 man on one version, 50 man voicing special. Music we abuse when the lyrics that we choose taking the whole world down. Well, there is room for every man to spin a tune. Word, power and sound, all sound have to pull up. When them hear this, you want them have to pull up. Man a shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up, sound have to pull up. When them hear this, you want them have to pull up. Man a shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up. We used to load milk crate with a record, now 12-inch gone to CD. Nobody talk about tape and cassette, that's a ancient history. MP3 to iPod, through speakers 10 feet tall. Select a wheel and come again and touch a button from a friend, just to hear the massive ball. Back in the days we used to spin vinyl, now everything gone digital. 50 man on one version, 50 man voicing special. Music we abuse when the lyrics that
People, are you listening to the lyrics of the song? And I'm talking about this because I'm just looking for another reason, another excuse just to pull up. But seriously though, are you listening to the lyrics of the song? It's telling us about what happened back then and what could still be happening now, so that we could get that effect that we had back then. No. Mm-hmm. But listen to the lyrics and go on jam same way, and let's listen to tune again.
That truth for real.
This one going out to the north, south, east and west. Digital or analog, we are fearless. Have sound have to pull up. When them hear this, you want them have to pull up. Man a shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up, sound have to pull up. When them hear this, you want them have to pull up. Man a shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up. Back time to spin the tune. Word, power, and sound. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, now we pull up. When them hear this, yeah, want them have to pull up. Man, I shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up. Sound have to pull up. When them hear this, yeah, want them have to pull up. Man, I shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Also have to pull up. When them hear this, yeah, want them have to pull up. Man, I shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up. Unification through music. One love. Word, power, and sound. Release the bass and let the treble flow. This one is a scorcher.
This one is definitely a scorcher.
Bless.
And Aki Woman has been rinsing this tune all week, and I'm going to be rinsing it. And I can just picture Sharon P in the studios of the Conduit. She won't be sitting down. She'll be up on her feet, dancing, skanking, doing what Sharon P does. So all I can say is this is a reminder of what was and what can be and what is to come.
Yeah, thanks.
So we're looking forward to the times when the music is back to here, because you just don't understand how nice that just made me feel.
Thank you, thank you.
I feel
I'm glad.
Aki Woman says you have to dance when you hear the tune.
Good, good.
You know, and it lifts your spirits. And so, you know, we're going to be going out on that one.
All right.
So I want to thank you all for logging in. Thank you all for sticking and staying. Aki Woman, The Truth for Real, Fletcher Drums, Rick Zeron, Sharon P, Silencer V, the other 7 guests who didn't want to come log in and talk to me or talk to K Vibes, but it's okay.
Them shy. It's all right.
Yeah. And all 722 of you on Twitter, thank you for logging in.
Thank you.
Those on Facebook, thank you for logging in. On those on the iPhones and the Blackberries and whoever else, e2onair.com, thank you all for logging in. You have been listening to the incomparable K Vibes, the Brick Rose.
Thanks for having me.
Right here on E2 Air on the program UnSung. I'm your host, Anmour, and I thank you. We're going out to the sounds of the Brick Rose, the tune called Pull Up. Stay tuned for Carlon McKetty on CPR Live.
This one going out to the north, south, east, and west. Digital or analog, we are fearless. Our sound have to pull up. When them hear this, yeah, want them have to pull up. Man, I shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. Our sound have to pull up. Sound have to pull up. When them hear this, yeah, want them have to pull up. Man, I shoot rifle and gun, them have to pull up. All firecrackers have to done, them have to pull up. A sound have to pull up. Back in the days we used to spin vinyl.